All right, let's get this show started.
In today's news, Dana White announces a stacked UFC Saudi Arabia fight card. In a video posted to his social media, the UFC president announced a number of fights for UFC Saudi Arabia, including a middleweight main event bout between Robert Whittaker and Khamzat Chimaev. Whittaker is coming off a decision victory over Paulo Costa. Meanwhile, Khamzat was last seen in action at October's UFC 294 event, where he picked up a majority decision win over Kamaru Usman.
What's up, guys? Here with another announcement. On Saturday, June 22nd, we'll be going to Saudi Arabia. Our first fight in the kingdom will be a fight night that will air live and free on ABC. And the main event will be former middleweight champion Robert Whittaker versus 13-0 undefeated Khamzat Chimaev to see who will be the #1 contender for the UFC middleweight championship.
White also announced Alexander Volkov vs Sergey Pavlovich, Kelvin Gastelum vs Daniel Rodriguez, Johnny Walker vs Volkan Ozdemir, and Ihor Potieria vs Shara Magomedov.
The co-main event, the #3 ranked knockout artist Sergey Pavlovich versus the #6 ranked Alexander Volkov. Also, Kevin Gastelum will be taking on Daniel Rodriguez. We've got Johnny Walker versus Volkan Ozdemir. Undefeated 12-0 Shara Bullet versus Ihor Potieria, who has 15 of his 20 wins coming by first round finish. This card is going to be badass from top to bottom. It's going to be historic. It's our first ever show from the kingdom. Tickets go on sale soon, so make your plans for UFC Saudi Arabia, June 22nd, live and free on ABC.
Robert Whittaker reacts to Khamzat Chimaev booking. Speaking on the MMA Arcade podcast, Whittaker shared his first thoughts on his main event bout against Chimaev. The former middleweight champ said that he is in a great headspace to face another top fight, and that if he emerges victorious, he aims to earn another opportunity to compete for the title. A big middleweight bout is in the works for UFC 305. According to a report from Nick Walshaw of Fox Sports, Dricus du Plessis vs Israel Adesanya is being discussed to headline UFC 305 in Perth, Australia on August 18th. The fight was expected to headline next month's UFC 300 event in Las Vegas. However, DDP turned it down. Now, after months of back and forth, the two will finally have a chance to squash the beef inside of the octagon. Who do you guys think takes this one? Let's talk in the comments below. Luke Rockhold signs with Karate Combat. Following news that he's currently coaching an Ultimate Fighter style reality show opposite Tyron Woodley for Hardcore FC, the former UFC middleweight champion has also signed up for a showdown with Joe Schilling at Karate Combat 45 on April 20th. The fight in April will be Rockhold's first appearance since losing to Mike Perry in BKFC almost a year ago. As for his opponent, Schilling hasn't competed since October 2019 when he suffered a knockout loss to Tony Johnson under the Bellator banner. What do you guys make of this matchup? Who do you think will win? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Dana White mistaken for Joe Rogan in an all-time interview gaffe. The UFC president recently appeared on Sage Steele's podcast, who's a former reporter that famously left ESPN last August after a lengthy legal battle with the company. Like many, she quickly created a podcast and felt that Dana White would be a great guest. Despite his previous promise not to anymore, the UFC CEO continues to make podcast appearances. The interview saw Dana White once again slam media, stating that podcasts are the way to go in the form of doing press. It was a great discussion up until the end when the podcast host confused the UFC CEO with UFC commentator Joe Rogan.
What's Joe Rogan's dream?
What's Joe Rogan's dream?
Joe Rogan, Dana White. What's Dana White's dream?
Did you just think I was Joe Rogan?
I totally did.
You just called me Joe Rogan. You thought I was Joe Rogan?
Yeah, I thought you were Joe Rogan.
I was bald before Joe was ever bald. Okay?
I know.
Just did a 2-hour podcast. I flew here from Vegas, and she thought she was interviewing Joe Rogan.
Jesus.
Colby Covington gets into a heated debate with a feminist. Covington recently appeared on Valuetainment TV where he got into a heated argument with a feminist over Donald Trump. The woman asked Colby what freedom Trump has fought for, and after that, things went from 0 to 100 real quick. Time for today's top memes. Third place was found over on Facebook and was posted by Robert. The second place meme was found over on Instagram and was posted by As Shopped As It Gets. And the top picked meme was also found over on Instagram and was posted by TMM Official. Thanks for watching. If you like the content, smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe to stay in the talk.